fam, that's what they call me. I promise that you'll never be lonely.
Hello lovely, welcome to my channel once again. So today guys, I'm going to be sharing another very interesting recipe with you guys. I'm going to be showing you how I grill my fish, which I'll be using tilapia fish. I'll serve it with fried yam and plantain and also peppered sauce. So if you want to see how I came about this, please continue to watch. But please, if you like what you're seeing and you haven't subscribed, do subscribe and also like and share my video, and of course leave your comments in the comment section below and tell me or let me know what you think about this recipe. If it's something that you want to try, let's know what you think about it. If you happen to try it, still come back and let us know how it went. Okay, so without wasting time, I will just dive right into the video and show you how I made this very delicious recipe. So continue to watch. For this recipe, I used 2 tilapia fish, medium-sized tilapia fish, of which I've already washed and cleaned very well. So the next is for me to dry my fish. I'm using paper towel to do that, to remove any excess water from the fish. This way, by the time I marinate my fish, it will stick. The spices will be able to stay on the fish to marinate properly. To marinate my fish, I'll be using olive oil to mix the spices. Then I'll add the first spice, which is ginger, followed by garlic powder, all-purpose seasoning, paprika also. And I'm gonna crush in some bullion cube, 2 cubes actually, into the mixture. I'm also going to be adding onion powder, which I just added. If you don't have it, don't worry about it. I always like some onion flavor, but that doesn't mean that your fish will not come out well if you don't have this. So I know that this is not really common in most places, so that's fine guys, don't worry about it. Okay, and then I'm adding also black pepper. Yes, I'm adding black pepper because I also like the taste that it gives the fish when it's mixed in there. Once all that is done, I'm going to stir everything, mix it up together, and make sure that it's really well mixed up before I will now start applying it on the fish. My marinated spices are ready, but before I go on to apply it on the fish, I'm going to make an incision. Just like what I'm doing now, I'm going to make 3 incisions on the fish. Then I will now apply my marinated spice on the fish. This will enable the spice, I mean the incision that I'm doing will enable the spice to go in properly into the fish, and also it will help the fish to cook very fast and well. So this fish now, I'm going to cook it for 10 minutes maximum, because I always like my fish not too dry, just moderately dry. Okay, so that's how I'm going to cook it, but it depends on the size of the fish. If you're using a larger fish, I'm using a medium-sized fish here, you may want to cook it longer, and also it will also depend on how you like your fish. So guys, once I finish this fish, you will see how it's going to appear, and that is how I normally like my grilled fish. Okay, so we're moving on now to start applying the marinated spice on the fish. I'm done applying the spice all over the fish. So what I'm doing now is just to use cling foil to cover the bowl, of which I'm going to put the fish in the fridge to leave it there to marinate while I get on with other stuff to prep them. And once I'm done, I will just bring it out to start grilling. Okay, here now I have my red bell pepper and Scotch bonnet, that's atarudu. So I'm going to be blending them all in my food processor using the pulse button so that it will be coarse. It's not going to be smooth. Just yeah. So if you're using your food processor, use the pulse button to do that. Okay. I'm done with blending now, so I'm going to transfer my fish into my baking tray. Meanwhile, I'm going to line the baking tray with some baking papers so that my fish doesn't stick on the baking tray, and I prefer to use this paper instead of foil paper. Okay, so now I have just transferred it into the baking tray, and the next thing I'm going to just pop it into the oven to start grilling. Now my fish is in the oven and I'm going to allow it to grill for 5 minutes before turning the other side to also grill. The next step here is for me to make my pepper sauce. So here I'm going to be using olive oil to make the sauce. You can use any oil of your choice. After adding my oil to the pan, I will allow my oil to heat up, at least to be hot enough before adding my onions to fry. Once my onions is fried, I'll go ahead to add my garlic into the oil. Once my garlic is fried a little, because you know garlic can burn so easily, so you don't have to fry it for too long. So I will now go ahead to add my mixed pepper that I blended in my food processor. Once I've added my pepper, and I'll go ahead to start adding other spice. I'm just adding my Bullion Cube to the sauce, and then I will add my all-purpose seasoning now. And then I'm also adding black pepper as well. You'll be surprised that this black pepper also adds a good flavor to the sauce. And then now I'm going to go ahead to add oregano. It's time to keep stirring your sauce. At this point, just keep stirring it to avoid your sauce getting burnt. My sauce is almost ready. You know why? Because once the oil separates from the sauce, I didn't use too much oil, so obviously you have you can see the oil at the bottom of the pan bubbling. Is separate from the sauce, so now you know that your sauce is ready. At this point, I'm just going to turn off the heat and set my sauce aside while I continue with other stuff. The fish has already been grilled for 5 minutes in the oven. What I'm going to do now is just to flip the fish over on the other side and put back in the oven to continue to grill for another 5 minutes, and then my fish will be ready. Since I'm going to be serving my fish with plantain and yam, this is the right time for me to start frying my yam and plantain. First of all, I parboiled my yam just to have a more crispier yam on the outside and soft in the inside. Finish frying my yam, and the next thing I'm doing is just to go ahead to fry my plantain. If you're watching this video and you don't know how to fry plantain, I have a more detailed video on how to do that. I'll make sure I leave it on the description box below, so that if you want to, you can always go there, you can always click and watch it. Here we are, the fish is ready. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you do so, and I will see you next time on my next video. Bye.